Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Canned Air, your tribute to pop culture. I am Jeremy Colley.
I'm Jack Doherty.
And returning to the show, so the three of us can do what we always do the best when we get together, sit and talk about comics, comic-related movies, television shows. I mean, you guys remember the first time this happened? Like, it was just almost magical the way it happened. We had to pull ourselves away from that conversation because it just
happened pretty much. I mean, it just went into it.
It was the first time we had David on, which at this point was over a decade ago. And we had him on to talk about Power Rangers. And we had to stop ourselves and remind ourselves, oh, wait, we came to talk about Power Rangers. We can't keep talking about comics. I think we found something special here. But you guys probably know him best as Zordon from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We welcome back actor and writer David J. Fielding. David, welcome back, sir.
Hey, glad to be back on Canned Air.
And now saying that it's been that long ago since you've been here, I'm going to have to go back and start tallying up how many times you've been here. I think you got everyone beat. No doubt.
It's at least, 10 years, it's at least once a year.
Yeah, at least.
Oh, yeah.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm full of blowhard.
5 Christmases at least on there too, or something like that, I think.
David's been a staple of the last, 5, 6 Christmases anyway?
Something like that,
yeah.
I love this show, man. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I love that it has its own traditions and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm getting sappy.
I love the fact that it started out as just another invitation to do another podcast, and now we're friends, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's been a fun 10 plus years. And I hope you come into Ohio soon because we need to get together. I know you could say the same thing. We'll bring your asses to Texas, but you get around the country more than we do.
No, stay where you are right now because you're enjoying nice 76-degree temperatures. And we're at least 35 more than that. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, not for long, though. It's... the next month, it's going to start dipping, and that's when that's my most dreaded time of year. I don't mind the fall. It's the winter I hate.
I'll trade places with you. I'm come living in Ohio. You'll come down to Texas. How about that?
You asked me on the right day, David. I might take you up on that.
just go home and pack up and just leave.
Last Tuesday. Yep. Or any given day where there's a foot of snow on the ground. Peace. I'm going to Texas.
Barbecue and Buc-ee's. Let's go.
Yes, exactly. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We got a little diverted. It's good to catch up with friends. But what we're going to be doing today is pretty much the road to Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, which is coming out, what is that, December 18th, I think? Something like that. So everything else that Marvel planned on putting out this year, they've already put out with Spider-Man Brand New Day being the last thing. We're going to go through everything that's come out this year from Marvel and just give our opinions on it and maybe how we, things that might tie into Doomsday coming up. But mainly what we're going to be doing here is giving you our Spider-Man Brand New Day review, which I think was pretty amazing. I had a few gripes with it, as I do absolutely everything. I'm sure you guys did too.
I did. It took me, after seeing it the first time, I was walking out and I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like I did after I walked out watching Superman. There's something about it at Superman that I enjoyed better. But then the whole week after, there was a channel on YouTube that had 15-minute increments of the movie posted. So I sat there and watched it again. And after, I was just like, okay. It was settling in. I think it was a lot of the Jean Grey part of it.
Yeah, I've got comments about that.
It bothered me.
I think I already said something to David about it.
It was great.
Yeah. What were you saying about Superman at the top of that?
Oh, just the feeling that I walking out of the theater after watching Superman, I was just like, man, that was such a good movie.
Yeah.
And coming out of Spider-Man, I was just like, I was like, I don't know. I had too much stuff going in my head about it, I think.
There was a lot to unpack, wasn't it?
Yeah.
A lot to unpack. What about you, David? Quick opinion on the film.
I hesitated to go see it. I've been feeling a lot of superhero fatigue, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So because I didn't go see Superman in the theater. I saw it on the plane, and then I caught it on Prime. And I haven't gone to see Supergirl. And there have been a number of like big movies that have come out that I just didn't go see because, one, I think I see far too many movies all by myself. And so when I see them by myself, I don't have anybody to talk to about them.
Yeah.
And so I hesitate to go to the movies these days because it's just another movie by myself. But I think over the last year and a half or so, I've been feeling a little bit spread thin with everything that's been going on with the MCU and the extended universe and all that kind of stuff. And the discourse online, when you watch the discourse online and people talking about stuff, it really skews towards the negative, and that just bums me out. So I messaged Karen Ashley because she's my Marvel buddy, and you normally chat about a bunch of stuff. And she said, "Have you seen Spider-Man yet?" And I said, "No, I haven't got to it." And she goes, "Oh, you need to go see it. Go see it. It's good." So based on that, I did go and sit through it. And I had a good time in it through it. But I do think that there are a couple of things I was like, oh, those are interesting choices. Why did you make those choices? So, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few on my list too. So I'm excited to dig those out because I'm guessing they're probably the same thing. I think Jack had just already touched on one. Okay, here I go down the foxhole Spider-Man. We got to save that. Okay, sorry. All right, so let's go back. I think the first thing that came out this year was the Marvel television show Wonder Man. So I guess my opinion Jack, you already know. It was good. David, you saw it, you said? And you enjoyed it as well?
I did. It took me, I enjoyed the premise. I enjoyed how it was laid out, but it took me a really long time to like the protagonist, the main character, Simon, because I credit the actor who played the part. I'm not going to say his name because I will butcher it to death, but I think his performance, his ability to create that character, which I really didn't like. I mean, I really felt like he was a jerk and, was getting in his own way and was just, he may have been a talented actor, but he was the type of actor that I would like steer clear of. If I was ever in a play or on a set with somebody like that, I'd be like, no, thanks. So I credit him with his performance being able to do that. And by the time we get to like the last 2 episodes, I'm like going, okay, I get it. And so I enjoyed it from that part. And it was great to see Ben Kingsley as his Mandarin character come back, and the actor, and I thought that was really, really cool. So, yeah.
Agreed. And the thing I came to realize when I was thinking about this today is how much I enjoyed the show. Everything you said was accurate, but I wonder how interested I would have been, or if I even would have stuck with it without his involvement in the project.
Yep, absolutely. I think he totally carried that whole series.
Which I hate to say because it was still good, but...
because the Wonder Man that I grew up with was the Simon Williams that I grew up with was his brain pattern was used for both Vision and Ultron, I think. But he was also involved with the voodoo thing in Haiti. So it was all very 70s over the top stuff. But I never really knew what Simon Williams' power was. I knew he was just sort of like another superhero that showed up, that had a green and red costume. And he looked... I think it came out at the same time. There was another comic book. I can't remember if it was Marvel or DC, but it was like Hologram Man or something like that, or 3D Man. And it was
Desperate Man.
Yeah, and it was like all the 3D glasses that they would give you to go to the movies were like, green and red or red and blue or whatever, so you could, watch the 3D. So I think they were sort of trying to capitalize on that kind of thing. But he was always like a fifth tier hero. He wasn't like somebody that you would like focus on or whatever, even though I think he did become Avenger at some point. So
Really?
Not one of the guys that the rest of the heroes were like, we better call Wonder Man.
Yeah. That was back when they were reintroducing like the Wizard and all these like pre-World War II or World War II heroes that came back, and it was. I think they were just throwing everything they could at the wall. Marvel, they were just like, do something. But yeah.
I was just so giddy when I think it was that last episode he donned the Mandarin character again to take cover for take blame for what happened. Mind you, to the listeners really quick, there are going to be some spoilers throughout this episode, so just keep that in mind when you're watching. Anyway, it was, I watched that so many times, I rewound that so many times. Oh, America, like I just can't get enough of it. It's so good.
A big grin on your face as soon as the TV came on and you saw him.
Ready for another lesson? Oh, I'm amusing myself. Okay. Anything else on Wonder Man?
I'm very disappointed that they are not going to do season 2. They canceled. They decided not to move forward with season 2, and they haven't done anything else with Ironheart. They haven't done anything with Kamala Khan. What's her name from WandaVision, who was projected into another dimension? Polaris, I think, is her character name.
Wait, whoa, what? They put Polaris in the MCU?
I can't remember what her character name is, but she was with the Marvels. She was with Captain Marvel and Kamala Khan. She was in Wanda. Polaris. I can't remember what
she was the one in the cut scene or in the after credit scene with Beast.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
She might pop up in. Well, I mean, we're going to talk about Doomsday later, but she could possibly pop up then.
But it really did feel and they haven't done anything much with Sam Wilson, so it really did feel like there was this hate to use this word, this stark comparison of they're not moving forward with those characters, but they're also not moving forward with Moon Knight or Werewolf by Night.
That stinks.
And She-Hulk, they're not moving forward with those either, as far as I can tell. And Hulk is in Brand New Day, but we don't get any mention about where's his son. What happened to his son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the only thing with Hulk either. Again, I've got notes on that for the Brand New Day conversation. A lot of inconsistencies with Hulk, but I don't know how they could do a second season for Wonder Man the way season 1 ended. Spoilers, but when they break him out, he goes and saves Trevor from that prison, and they know that it was him. So now both
the connective tissue between Wonder Man and Spider-Man is damage control, right?
Right.
Because that was the whole thing about damage control, was all about trying to contain Simon. And they were the ones that were holding on to the Mandarin there when he broke him out. So there's that connective tissue. And I think I'm not sure if damage control was involved with Ironheart. They might have been. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it. And Echo too. What's going on with Echo? I have no idea.
I see. Echo I haven't seen. I haven't seen Ironheart, and I haven't watched Miss Marvel. Are any of these things good?
I watched Echo. I don't remember if I watched the last episode. If I did, then it ended up being a background TV show going on.
I just
Ironheart was
about her character.
Okay.
Ironheart introduced some very interesting things as far as like magic and Mephisto and all that stuff. But again, what what contributes to the whole superhero fatigue. It's like when I was reading comic books growing up, it got to a certain point where it's like, oh, there's too many characters, there's too many story threads to keep up with, and at that point, I was like, girls are a lot more interesting. I think I think I'm going to go that way. But I mean, I do wonder how they're going to pull some of these things off, because I think all three of us can agree that you'll never again have the Infinity War Endgame kind of conclusion that everybody is scrambling to try to recreate.
Yes, they are so hard.
The groundwork that they laid leading up to that was really, really well done. I mean, some of the movies were shaky or whatever, but the through line leading all the way up to Endgame, everybody was just there for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And right now it just feels like everybody is just sort of like, oh, we're kind of, again, we're waiting, you know, whatever. So
I think a big part of that, see, I mean, you're right. Nothing is going to top that first build up to Endgame. Nothing. But I think they had plans to do said thing with Kang. And then Jonathan Majors got in trouble. They had to fire him. And they canceled the Kang saga. And just, I don't think they knew where to go, really. Like, I guess Doctor Doom, right? What else are we going to do? I would have loved to have seen the build up to Kang, though. That would have been pretty neat.
I mean,
a cool villain who I think kind of got smacked to the side prematurely.
Yeah, I just recently rewatched Loki because it was one of the things you have to watch before Doomsday. And season 2 of Loki really kind of puts a bow on the whole Kang thing. If you rewatch it, they do a good job of sort of like taking him out of the spotlight and putting him. Kang doesn't exist anymore,
right?
You know, after Loki 2, so you know they found a way to sort of like overcorrect or whatever. But yeah.
I don't know. It's it's just kind of like they did with Captain Marvel in the first set. See, I think that was the worst movie in the whole bunch of them. One, I didn't really care for it, not because I didn't care for her character or I don't like her character, because I didn't know the Guardians and I fell in love with them. So I just felt like Infinity War comes out. They're like, what we've put together here, this team cannot defeat this guy in this last movie. We need to put a Superman in there, a powerhouse in there. Let's rush this movie out between the two films, and then that'll be their saving grace, you know? I didn't like that. That was kind of sloppy. They should have done Captain Marvel much earlier.
Yeah. Same with the Black Widow movie. The Black Widow movie should have happened.
Oh, God, yeah. That one should have been way out.
You know, before Infinity War. So, yeah.
That was a good film. I just rewatched Thunderbolts the other day, and
I really like that movie a lot.
I do too. It seems like every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more.
Right.
That one's the same way how Spider-Man was with me. Remember when I came out of the theater after watching that, I was just like, but now, and after I watched it again, I was like, man, that was good.
Yeah.
You're talking about No Way Home?
Yeah. Or no, the Thunderbolts.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I was really shocked when you were coming out of the theater like that. Yeah, I don't know.
But then, the second time around, I was like, damn.
Personally, I think Thunderbolts rides on Florence Pugh's performance.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she really carries.
Oh, absolutely.
Through. And to see her in Brand New Day was like, oh, that's awesome, because I didn't know a lot going into Brand New Day. And so I like, why is she on the red carpet with those guys? Huh? And then when I get to the movie, I'm like,
oh, yeah, indeed. And did either of you hear a fucking word she said when she was on screen? Because I didn't. Not one fucking word.
I was wondering why that water seemed so cloudy.
Yeah, me too. Chlorinate.
I just love the fact that Peter had his mask on and was like, tiptoeing into the water. I thought that was freaking hilarious.
That was pretty genius, because it really made you see that as a comic panel, something you would totally see in a comic book.
Oh,
All right. So Daredevil. I don't know how much we want to say here about this. Again, who did and who didn't? David didn't and Jack did?
I saw season 1. I did not see season 2.
Huh. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say because everything I was going to say would lead to spoilers, and I do not want to spoil this for you guys.
I mean, I don't think you can spoil
I saw Daredevil.
Yeah, but David didn't.
But I don't think you can spoil it because I can. I pretty much know where it's going to go. It's just going to be, Matt going toe to toe with Wilson Fisk again. I think I did see the scene where Bullseye was in the diner and takes out all of the cops or whatever.
Oh my God, that was gorgeous. That was so good.
Such a sweet Bullseye.
Yeah.
So, I think they ramped up the brutality in season 2, but I didn't see the episode. So I don't know how his relationship with Karen pans out. I don't know. Is Fisk in jail? I have no idea. I mean, he was in the Netflix series. He went to jail, but then, he got busted out or whatever. That's
the big, see, I had a whole big thing here. I do not want to ruin this for you, David, though.
I totally forgot about the end of Daredevil. Because I had a question during Spider-Man, even though it's 4 or 5 years later.
Something like that, but well, maybe not. I wouldn't think it would be that far in the future, but
I don't know where Daredevil takes place in Spider-Man, during the couple of years from the montage in the beginning. Is that when he was around, or?
Well, I think at the end of the end of No Way Home, it's Christmas time, which lines up with the Hawkeye series.
Yeah,
because that takes place at Christmas.
Yeah.
And so if it's 4 years after that Christmas, I think that's where Fisk runs for mayor, becomes mayor. And then I think maybe Spider-Man does take place after the end of season 2 of Daredevil. Because I don't know if Frank Castle appears in season 2 or not. I don't know. Does he have a cameo?
Very short. He's real short.
I can't even remember where he was. That's what I was trying to remember today, because he had a big part in season 1. In season 2, he
met up with Karen real quick, because I think it had part to do with the whole trial.
Right.
Because all of a sudden Karen was made to look like the bad guy, like she was running all the vigilante stuff. And she was hiding. I think she went to hide with Frank, but there was a whole romance with Frank too that I don't remember very much.
Oh, didn't they take Bullseye to the Punisher's place? I'm saying too much. I was excited when it started, all of this, because I thought they're putting Fisk as mayor. When Spider-Man eventually comes out, there had already been rumored that Daredevil and Punisher were going to be in the new Spider-Man film. But to have Mayor Fisk in this film too,
right.
He doesn't even have to be the villain or anything, but just to see election posters on a wall or something, just to know that Wilson Fisk has some power in this city. I don't know.
I think one of the reasons, again, the superhero fatigue was I'm not sure if I want to sit through this. And there was all the big hoopla about Daredevil's going to be in the all black suit. And I was like, I don't know why everybody has to be in an all black to be cool.
Well, let me just say this, because his outfit looked fucking amazing, but they didn't even really make it look like he had tried to paint it black. Maybe the black was somewhat of a stain. I don't know, because his helmet, it's black, but you can still half of it's red. It's it's almost like it was a stain or something. Now the chest part is black with the red DD. I don't know. I love the black.
I think it was.
I love it.
At the end of the series, season 2, because he was getting beat up, you could see brush marks. So I think it was just spray painted black.
He just spray painted it. Okay.
Yeah, because there was lots of where
he's outlaw, right? He was outlaw. All the street level characters are outlaws, right? Fisk outlaws, the vigilantes.
Yep. Yeah. So you then, after the season ends, you quickly see why Fisk and Daredevil are not going to appear
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I heard he's on an island somewhere, right?
Who, Fisk?
Fisk, yeah.
Something like that. Have you heard about Murdoch?
I don't know about Matt.
Okay,
No, I don't
then
know.
hushy, hush, zip, zip.
Okay.
David, you need to watch it because it was pretty good.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I also was in a mood of like, I'm not really sure if I want all that drama because I know it's going to be a lot of brooding and a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot of brooding.
angry,
well,
you know, protestations about justice and law. I mean, like, okay, all right.
Yeah, it's just Fisk, man. You know, it's Wilson Fisk. You know,
Yeah.
You know what you're in for, right? Just with the name.
I mean, you have to say, I mean, I do think that Marvel has set, you know, with very few exceptions, has knocked it out of the park as far as like casting. All of these people are just really, really well, you know, suited for the role.
When Fisk loses his temper and just goes giant crybaby mode, good God.
Like that last episode. Oh my God.
Going through the hallway.
Yeah, it was satisfying as fuck. I had to watch it like 3 times. And then even after that was even more satisfying because it doesn't end the way you think it would. Saying too much. Sorry, David, but fuck, watch it, man. We got to talk about this. I pulled my soapbox out here to talk about Daredevil.
I should have answered your text saying, "Oh, I haven't seen it yet." So
it's okay. I'm just giving you shit for the sake of the podcast. No worries. Okay. Anything else on Daredevil? Born Again season 2.
They're doing season 3, and I think Elektra's coming back.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that must mean that the Hand is coming back as well.
I don't know. How could
imagine.
they if they were working for
damage
control?
That was just a small sect of them, though.
Well, I guess that's true.
Is the Hand ever really gone? I don't think so. I don't know. I would love to see Fisk come back and like truly be comic book Fisk finally. You know, just be funding, have Alistair Smythe working for him.
I think at some point we do need to see a live action version of Vincent D'Onofrio wrapping his hand around Peter Parker's head.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
God, just palming him like a basketball.
I think that needs to happen at some point, but yeah.
And they could have made that happen. Well, they could have made it happen so easily if they would have gone a different way with him in the Spider-Man film. And it wouldn't even have to been a big part of the film. Maybe
I'm a big very quick cameo guy.
Yeah.
And you know, if during the end of the last episode of the Hawkeye series, before the tree falls, if they had just shown a shot of some guy swinging by,
right?
You know, I thought, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do to acknowledge that Peter's still out there doing his thing. You know, but they didn't do that. So
even just like a silhouette against the moon in the background, you know, like camera on the ice skate rink, kind of looking up at the tree, and you just back there see a quick.
Well, I mean, at the end of No Way Home, he does the swing by the tree, and it's like he's right there, you know. So
what a glorious shot that was
thing.
too. What a glorious shot that was. That shiny blue. Oh my God! Against the snow and then in the nighttime. Getting a little wood thinking about it. Sorry. These movies do things to me, boys.
And Air, rated R.
You just wait till after Doomsday.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, I wanted to get this out on the table too, because Spaceballs 2 is coming up, and seeing that Canned Air is namesake, you know, inspired by said movie, I think something has to be done. Some big Canned Air event has to be done where we all go see Spaceballs 2. So, David, get up here, or we'll come down.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. I know we've talked briefly about it, but after seeing all the San Diego Comic-Con, did you watch the panels at all with Rick Moranis and the cast? Oh my God, you need to watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you give a shit.
I caught
about
snippets
Spaceballs.
here and there. I watched the big presentation of their whole ass.
They did. They made a whole joke about yes. What they call
ass.
it? Ass. The
I don't remember what it was. Something.
it was a Spaceballs extended universe, and so the screen just kept showing all these potential Spaceball movies coming out in the future.
And then direction flow charts go into which for continuity and what order stuff goes in. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. First, we're going to start with the Vespa movie, and then we're going to lean into Dark Helmet Origins. It just got stupid. But I love that.
Yeah, I think they were sticking it to every franchise. Like, yeah, fuck you guys. Yeah, fuck you guys.
Yeah, we got to go do something for the show for that one. But anyway.
I was really worried about Josh Gad being part of that. But then after seeing that, I was just like, okay, I'm getting him. He fits.
Yeah. He's playing what? Probably Barf's son or something adjacent to Barf.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, what else have we got? X-Men 97, I guess, is the only thing we haven't touched. Or no, Punisher, One Last Kill. Who has or hasn't again?
I saw it.
Have not seen it.
Have not seen it. Okay.
Was disappointed to see that it was 50 minutes. I thought for sure it was going to be a movie. I mean, I accepted that it was going to be a movie when I found out it wasn't a series. I was a little upset. And then I was like, all right, so it'll be a movie. And then saw it was a half a movie. And I was like, well, shit.
Yeah. I know. It was an odd choice, right? But when I heard it was coming out, I got excited. I mean, of course, we've had the series, but, they called it, like you said, a movie, and then they showed it was going to be 50 minutes. So I was like, what is this? It's just like a really long episode of something. But I was still excited because it was a solo Punisher project, and it seemed to be that they were wanting to show us something about this character or do something with this character to lead up to Spider-Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did, but I think it was so really small and doesn't really, maybe it shows a little bit. This is the one thing we've seen from this character the whole time we've been seeing John Bernthal's Punisher is that he's tormented, by his past, by his memories, the people that some of the people he's killed. He's always carrying this burden. And I think what this show does, or this, show, are we calling it a show or a movie or a show?
One shot.
A shovie.
The one shot.
A one shot. That's perfect. Yeah. A one shot. Is that he is now the Punisher without carrying that anymore. Like he's kind of, it seemed like by the end of One Last Kill, he's kind of put all that stuff away. He doesn't carry.
He really felt that way in Brand New Day, by the way.
Yeah. And that's the point of One Last Kill. Is you see him kind of shed all that emotional weight he's had on him, that he feels finally justified and able to do what he feels he's meant to do.
Oh, you're right. He does. He got rid of it during the One Last Kill.
Yeah, at the grave scenes.
Yep.
But this was the Nucci family, the last surviving Nucci mob wife. We didn't see it, but I'm saying too much. Okay, I can't say it. But Judith Light was in this. She played the Nucci crime boss woman. And that is Judith Bowers from Who's the Boss. So that was quite a surprise.
I've got to watch it again so I can see her, because I remember when you told me that, and I still can't picture her.
I didn't catch it the first time. It took me, after I watched it, then getting online and looking at some videos, and they said, and Angela from Who's the Boss is the Nucci one. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I went back and looked, and sure enough, that woman is a chameleon. Every time she puts on new hair, she's a chameleon. And it's a weird thing with her, because no matter what hair she has ever had, it doesn't look good on her. But she was an attractive woman, but hair does not flatter her. There's no hairdo that can flatter this woman. Thoughts?
No, you're absolutely right.
I'm not that familiar with Judith Light, so I don't know. I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Every time I've seen her, even like a bit part in any kind of drama or something like that, so I realize it's her. It's like, it's Angela. And then it's just like, it is. You're like, God, she doesn't look great.
Hey, Angela, what's with the hair? All right, that was my...
Put an R at the end of it. Angela.
Yeah, that's how Tony Danza said it.
Angela.
Hey, Okay. I guess that's all there really is to say from my camp on the Punisher One Last Kill is, we got to see that transformation. He shed that weight, which was why he was more lighthearted, funny Punisher in Brand New Day. Sorry, Jack.
In second season of Punisher, is he going over taking out the Nucci's? Is that what's going on in that?
No.
In that season?
In the second season of Punisher was the Pilgrim, right? Was the bad guy.
I never watched all the second season. I watched like the first.
Or maybe was there two or three seasons?
Oh, I thought there was two. If there's three, I feel guilty.
Because I feel like there was a whole season with Billy Russo coming back.
Jigsaw? Didn't he play Jigsaw?
Yeah, and then there was a season with him trying to rescue that young girl from the Pilgrim, that hitman assassin.
I haven't seen anything of X-Men 97 season 2.
Season 1, man, was so good. It ramped up so good. It consistently kept ramping up. They had a few episodes in there that were kind of filler. They, where they deviate from the main story and still give you an adventure. Like in season 1 with Jubilee and was that Mojo? That whole episode really just could have done
had
without.
Nothing. Yeah.
Well, then Storm lost her powers and all that stuff.
Yes, that's right. I forgot. But there was a consistent.
Had to go live with Forge for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it ended with this huge, beautiful climax, and then it just left you like, what are we going to get next? Season 2 starts, and the first 3 to 4 episodes are great, like just ramped up quickly. And you just thought, we are in for some big stuff this season. And then it just, in my opinion, it petered out hard. Those
really?
Deviant those episodes that kind of jump away from the story. You get one, then you get another, then you get another, and you're like, what's going on here? And then I don't want to say too much. Obviously, this is Apocalypse theme. That was made clear at the end of season 1 that it's Apocalypse. Yeah. A lot of inconsistencies, and I just could not believe how it ended. Not that it was bad, it just did not mimic that first season at all with like a ramp up of excitement and any kind of big battle. It was just like when it was over, I just kind of looked at the screen. I was like, really? Like, that's it? So
I started watching the first episode. I started watching the first episode of season 2, and it went through a little bit of flashbacks of what happened in the last season. And then it started off, and I was getting really lost what was going on because I don't remember exactly what happened at the end of the second season. So I got to go back and watch it because with them, half of them being in the past and half of them are being in the future.
Yeah. Half of them were
really got lost.
Cable's future, and the other half were in ancient Egypt when In Sabanur was before he was Apocalypse, like him becoming Apocalypse. So, that in itself just shows all, this could go one of many different ways, and it just, in my opinion, petered hard. Now, mind you, I still love the series. Disney, keep them coming. I still like them. X-Men 97, I think, is still some of the best stuff that's been coming out from you guys for a while. But I was not, it just petered out hard. Those first 4 episodes, I watched 2 or 3 times over because I loved them that much. And then these last ones, I just didn't care. It just focuses too much. It goes away from the story to focus on X-Force versus Factor. It's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Go back, So
no real big loss like losing Gambit, because that part was
big loss.
Is there?
Big loss.
Okay, shit.
One that tore my heart out of my chest. So you can only probably imagine who that was.
I'm seeing it.
But after that, it just peters out. There's some good shit in there. Don't get me wrong. They are good episodes. They should be watched. They're good episodes. But just to get me that close to the television screen and my eyes that dilated with the end of that episode, and then just not to really go back to that. Missed opportunity, man. Like when it was over, I was so shocked. Sorry,
Really,
David.
there's got to be another episode after this. There's got to be another one.
Yeah, I started getting on Reddit and doing what everyone was doing with Stranger Things. There's going to be a secret episode that comes out next week.
I
guys.
saw something happen in the end of season, their episode 3 that says
Clearly, there's another episode.
I still think that was one of the coolest scenes in X-Men 97 on the season 1 when Nightcrawler grabbed Wolverine and teleported.
Yes.
And you saw the view from inside there.
Oh, the vamping process. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the coolest part ever.
It was neat. They just did some interesting things in that last season that I don't know if maybe they were done in the comics or something, or maybe they're just taking liberties, but it was just an odd choice. And then that's it. Just go watch it, guys. I don't want to spoil it.
All right.
Just fucking watch it. Okay. Brand new day. Spider-Man, brand new day. Where the hell do we begin, gentlemen?
Begin at the beginning.
Sure.
Yep.
The beginning of it was awesome. I absolutely loved how they kind of did this film like they did with the opening of the Fantastic Four movie, kind of showing you like all the different villains that the Fantastic Four had been fighting, like a introduction to them. And again, kind of the same thing with Spider-Man and seeing him fighting Boomerang and Tarantula. Who else was in there?
Tombstone,
yes.
Yep. Scorpion. Yeah.
I wish they would have given Scorpion the full makeover. He just looked like something that would have come.
He needed the helmet.
He looked like a Sam Raimi Scorpion. Like, give me comic book Scorpion. That's what we're doing now. That's what everyone's on board with.
I know I was ear to ear grins that first couple minutes of Spider-Man when they were doing the montage of all the villains he was fighting, because it felt, hearing all the names that were going to be in it, it felt like it was going to be a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3 there's too many villains and it just wasn't going to work right. Yeah. But they just whipped it all out right in the beginning, was like, here you go. This is what's going on.
I think they kind of did a sort of like, here's a preview of what could be a Sinister Six kind of thing. And, but they were also trying to, I think the director, Daniel Cretton and Tom, talked about how they were recreating a lot of classic covers.
Yes.
That's right.
Swinging with the guy under his arm and then getting clocked in the chin and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Really. That one with him swinging with the guy under his arm, that one I definitely caught. Yeah. With the little slow motion thing. I was like, oh my God, that's a cover. The other ones I didn't catch until I saw on social media.
Yeah. Side by side. One's obvious. If you don't catch that one, you're Randy.
Yeah, right.
Sorry, Randy, if you're watching, no hard feelings.
I'm looking forward to when it comes out on streaming or Blu-ray or whatever to see what the deleted scenes are, because I know there's like quite a few deleted scenes, so it'd be interesting to see what happens.
That might be one I have to get physical media of. Just for that very reason. To see what behind the scenes stuff, because you always miss out on that one streaming. So what did we think of the whole man spider thing? Did we like that? Because I enjoyed it. Like, I wish they would have taken it further, but yes. I enjoyed it.
Well, I think there has been a question either in the comics or online, or I think there's always been sort of like this persistent question is like, is Peter enhanced or is he a mutant?
Well, I guess
did the
by
spider awaken his mutant ability? Is that what happened? Or is he like Captain America? Did he get, the super soldier formula through the spider? Whatever.
It's hard to say, because like in the comics and the series, it's like Sentinels would chase him. But, the X-Men wouldn't necessarily take him in their ranks because he wasn't necessarily a mutant. So, which way do you look at it? Because Sentinels were definitely attacking him.
I really liked the fact that they had the documentary about the spiders that tell you that spiders go through 3 different forms, or they have 3 different life cycles or whatever. So it's... it's kind of based in reality that Peter would molt and become something else. And I know in the comic books, he's sprouted various arms and all this kind of stuff. So I just accepted it. There was no breaking of the willing suspension of disbelief. I'm like, yeah, sure, that makes perfect sense to me. So I didn't have any sort of issues with it. So I was just going along for the ride, So that was nice.
I did read that they were going to do a dream sequence, maybe when he was in his cocoon, that he was going to be more man-spiders looking.
Oh, that'd have been cool.
I guess they pulled that because it was going to probably be a little too scary.
Bear with me. I'm looking up a book right now. Okay, this is what I was looking up. I read this years ago, and when I started seeing these trailers, I thought I guess this is what they kind of did do loosely. Have you guys ever read Spider-Man The Other?
No.
Evolve or Die. I almost bought it a few weekends ago. I saw it at the store, where essentially Peter, I can't remember the ins and outs of the whole story, but Peter falls ill, finds himself in the hospital, and dies. They take the monitors off of him. His dead body's laying there on the bed. Mary Jane's crying on his body when the body collapses to dust. It was just like a shell, kind of like a locust. Then it cuts to him in like a web sack underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. Very much like in Brand New Day when he wakes up under the ledge, almost identical to that. But when he came out, all of his powers were enhanced, heightened. He could hear much better. His spider sense was even louder than before. And he had spikes that would come out of his wrist, kind of like Wolverine, but like came out right here. It was such a good book. And that's what I think they were basing it more on than like the 6 arms. But boy, David, tell me that wouldn't have been sweet to see. The 6-armed Spider-Man. Oh my God.
I thought it was very interesting that, in No Way Home, they talk about Toby's character generating his own web fluid. And at the beginning of Spider-Man's, inception, the character, he is, a scientific genius, in the same sort of category as Tony and Reed Richards and all this kind of thing. He made his own web fluid. That was part of his character, is that, he was able to make these shooters and do his thing. But to see them kind of like come full circle, and now Peter creates his own fluid, is like, oh, okay. Again, makes perfect sense. I'm along with the ride. Didn't bother me at all. And, I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
I always kind of hated that Toby had the webs in his wrists. Yeah.
Me too.
But then all of a sudden Tom gets it and it's okay. But it's just because it's not what you grew up with. And then,
I love that sequence in No Way Home. And it was like, does it come out anywhere else? It's like, no. We want to talk about that.
Well, that's just it. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, and going back to what Jack said, I was disturbed too when Tobey Maguire first came out and had it coming out of his wrist, because the web shooters are a critical role to Spider-Man. He can be like, oh my God, I got to get across town, but I don't have enough web fluid. It's going to take me longer, or I've got to run back and get some. Or if he's fighting somebody, like in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, when he's fighting the lizard and he breaks it, he squeezes it and you see all that pop, he's down a web shooter. He is disabled.
Well, there was a couple of times in Brand New Day where you saw that happen, where they popped off his wrist and you're like going, oh shit, what are you going to do now? So,
yeah. But they're popping off as a result of the web underneath trying to shoot out too. But then David, you brought up that thing they said in the film where does it come out anywhere else? It makes more sense with what's this kid's name again? I'm sorry, the new Spider-Man?
Miles Morales.
Holland.
Tom Holland. No, Tom Holland. Thank you. That his is happening because the whole story is he's evolving. Maybe Tobey's Spider-Man did that and we just didn't see it. I forget where I was going with that.
So just to sort of like tangent a little bit, I've had this experience twice now in the last 10 years. When did Rogue One come out?
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
That was that when we were doing this show, Jack, or before?
I don't know.
Damn.
I think
Rogue One was the first Star Wars movie where I kind of grasped the idea that Darth Vader was scary as fuck.
Oh, you mean that last scene in the film?
Oh yeah, when he comes, to try to get the Death Star plans, and he hacks his way, through, and they just barely escape, and he stands there watching them go away. I thought, okay, Darth Vader's a badass.
Yeah.
And this is the first Spider-Man movie that I've gone to and watched because I've always been aware of Spider-Man, but he was never like my guy. He was just another character in the Marvel family. And I knew about him, but I was always much more of an Avenger guy, Captain America guy. But this is the first movie I sat through it, and when we get to the end, I'm like going, oh, I kind of get the whole Peter Parker thing now. That this is a guy who it's always rough for Peter.
Oh, yeah.
Every aspect of his life is rough. And I'm like, oh, I get why everybody is, they stand Peter Parker, because no matter how down he gets, he manages to get back up, and he's got that Captain Marvel, Captain America quality of like, you knock me down, I'm going to get right back up again. And this is the first time I saw it. I'm like going, I get it. And I really, really have enjoyed Tom Holland's progression through the character from Civil War all the way through these three movies. It's really, really great.
I would have to agree, especially where they've landed thus far, because those other films were good, but it's never been... See, like you were saying, Spider-Man was kind of on the back burner where you paid attention to like the Avengers. And like for me, it was always the other way around. I was like Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher. That was always my thing. Those were the toys and the comics I had. I loved that shit. So that was the big thing missing from Tom Holland, was that struggle, because he comes into the picture and him and his aunt live in an apartment, but he immediately is given Stark Tech and life just becomes a dream, sweetheart, So I wasn't a big fan of how they made the Iron Spider look. I got so sick of the nanotechnology, like just a mask appearing on everyone's face, especially his. So to strip him of all that, give him all these problems, give him a cloth suit, the hood that he's got to rip off. I loved it. It felt so good. And the policewoman, DeWolf, like she was a big character in the comics and cartoons as well. Yeah. So to see her there, like I had totally forgotten about her, and I was like, "Oh wow!" Like we're getting even deeper than I thought. The only thing I didn't see was Jameson, John Jonah Jameson.
Well, I was
wondering about him too.
Yeah, that was my one sort of like ding. It's like, hey, where's JJJ?
Yeah,
You should have thought after 4 years of Spider-Man saving the place that he would be on there and hating him just as much as he always was, more than he was at the end of Brand New Day. But I guess, I was going to say everyone forgot about him, but they didn't. They forgot who Peter was.
Yeah. His hatred would stay pure. Like it would be untouched by all that. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't have to do it exactly the way like they did in the comics or past movies where Peter becomes a photographer for the Daily Bugle. I get wanting to change that up a little bit, because wasn't the Bugle, like he wasn't even like an official news outlet. He was just kind of like a pissed off
freelance
YouTuber kind of a...
Well, I mean, they use the Daily Bugle in Daredevil, right? Because Robbie's daughter isn't she like an independent news reporter in Daredevil? She's the one that was like close friends with Wilson Fisk's right-hand man.
Oh, BB?
BB, who
that's who that is?
Yeah, that's Robbie's daughter. The
Robbie Robertson or whatever, BB Robertson.
Yeah, from the Daily Bugle. He's that's his daughter.
Oh my God, how did I miss that? That makes so much more sense now. I kept wondering why they were showing so much of her other than just to be like the face of the opposing side, opposing against Fisk,
Well, she ended up being more of just an influencer in Daredevil versus working for the Bugle.
The Bugle, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
That's how it is nowadays. No one listens to the paper. They look at TikTokers.
Right.
You spoiled that for me, David. I don't know what to say. I've been trying to bite my tongue, and then you sit there and... I'm kidding. I would have never picked up on that. So they must have made
After-
that clear. Did they address that like in the show that I just am forgetting, or was it just you hear her name and then you just know?
I can't remember if the actor.
I know I never picked up.
Well,
on
it's
it,
explained
so-
who she is. I do remember that she talks about her father and his time at the Bugle and that kind of thing. So yeah, where was I going with that? But I mean, that's part of the connective tissue between Spider-Man, which what I really enjoyed about Brand New Day was that there were people who really loved Spider-Man. That they looked to him, as a hero, and I thought that was really great. And there were a number of sequences like the first body jumping scene where the guy is being loaded into the ambulance. I love you, Spider-Man. Yeah, okay, guy.
Yeah.
I thought that was great, and the fact that they sort of like they acknowledge really quickly that Peter isn't the only superhero in the world, but in this little microcosm of New York, Spider-Man is the guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
And his relationship with DeWolf, the way they talk on the phone all the time. They talked, there at the culmination of that body switching scene, and he's, trying to put the clues together, and she's working it out, and he gets to know her kids, throughout the movie.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
By the end, she knows her son's
He
name.
knows their names because,
Yeah.
at the beginning he's like, well, I know your son's name is Poppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great. And I know a lot of people were griping about the fact that, how can Peter afford all of that computer stuff on, what is he doing for money? How does he get all this stuff? And I'm like, Peter is a dumpster diver. They established that in Civil War, that he runs around and he finds all this tech and he fixes it up. So I just looked at the fact it's like, oh, that's a Peter built console. He put that whole thing together.
Yeah.
So I don't think he paid for any of that. I mean, how he pays his electric bill, I don't know, but
Yeah, that was on my mind too a little bit, but I have to stop myself from thinking like that because, one, it is just a fucking movie, but I love the fact really quick. I just love the fact that, to tag on to what David was saying about his whole, home built computer setup is then on his right is like a half built 3D printer that's like doing stuff on his costume. I loved that too.
That was the biggest gripe that I had. I didn't really care about the whole computer thing and like all the cell phones that he had that were kept breaking. But that 3D printer thing, I was just like, where the hell did you get that from? Come on.
Goodwill, maybe. It's one of those early models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched,
Go ahead.
a couple days after watching Brand New Day, I watched Homecoming, and it's crazy to see how much he's grown
All of them.
from beginning to the new movie. Just with him swinging around, climbing on walls, he would constantly be slipping.
Mm-hmm.
He was like so noob at it, and now just in his personality, he wanted nothing but to be Spider-Man. He was so excited. He had these powers. He wanted to help people and be this superhero. And then you get to Brand New Day and he's just like, that's all he is. He's nothing else but Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then that scene when he's fallen and they show it from inside the lens.
Yeah, that was
and everyone was griping about, well, how would there be that much room inside? It's a face mask. Shut up and just
quit bitching and watch the movie.
Just take in the art and the meaning behind it. God, that was such a hard
Why do
scene.
people have to be like that? All right, back to my list of bitches.
Yeah.
Not a list of bitches, rather a list of bitching. I can't even call it that. I want to go back to what David was saying at the top of this. You had mentioned the Hulk and his son, where the hell did he go? Being one of the many inconsistencies. Because in this film, he's introduced to us. Peter goes to visit him for some advice. And I hate seeing Mark Ruffalo go, "Roar." It just makes me want to claw my own eyes out with a spoon or dig them out with a spoon. But what I don't understand is why he's showing Peter this whole inhibitor wristband. Because in Endgame and in She-Hulk, he's got that shit figured out. He took the brawn and the brains and melded them. He had no inhibitor. He was in complete control. So what happened that he has to now wear this inhibitor? Like, we've backtracked.
I can't remember if there's a very brief line of dialogue, kind of like the thing that Frank Castle and Peter have about, what about that thing on Staten Island? They never tell you what happened on Staten Island.
Yeah.
They just, establish the fact that there was this thing where Peter saved Frank's life. That's all you need to know. And I thought that was great.
Unless it's like a Hawkeye Black Widow thing in Budapest that you finally see years and years after.
Right. And so I think there was a line where somebody said there was an incident where he lost control, but I maybe I'm making that up too. But I've always
New Day.
Yeah, I want to say that there was a line. I don't know if it was DeWolf or if there was some mention in the classroom before Peter begins his conversation with Dr. Banner about mutation and all that kind of stuff. There was some throwaway reference to something that had happened that he had.
Like it was just a failsafe, just in case it happens that it can't happen because he's got it now.
And when I first went into the movie, I was a little confused about how buddy Frank and Peter were, but then I had to remember, oh, that's right. One of the first appearances of the Punisher is that he was hired to kill Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Kraven, he was hired to hunt down Spider-Man. So they've always been intertwined, and I had to remember that. But to see, they had this sort of like big brother, little brother relationship, I thought that was great. The whole sequence where he's trying to tell Frank to go home and kicks him through the back of his own truck. And, I thought that was a really, really well done sequence.
Yeah.
Especially since Frank had two of the same gun ready to go.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right.
It's got to be ready. No, I loved it. I think they did the perfect amount of swearing with him and just attitude. But yeah, as the movie went on, like you're right, that big little brother aspect was just bleeding through hard, wasn't it? And I'm not even going to say I disliked it, but I would have liked to seen the road to that. I would have loved to seen one last kill would have been a cool thing to do for do exactly that, him hunting Spider-Man or realizing he has to go find him or something.
Well, I like the whole sequence in Frank's, hideaway there on the ship or whatever. And when MJ is there and Frank is just acting kind of like a dork, he's like eating chili out of a can and stuff like on. All right.
Yeah.
Funny.
And it makes you then look at Daredevil too, and his relationship with Daredevil, and wonder if and this may just be a nerd looking too deep into something, but maybe Frank had some regrets with him and Matt's relationship, or wish he could have handled things differently, and is making up for that with this seemingly younger kid, who's doing the same kind of vigilantism.
Just moved to a new borough, found a new friend, and embraced it a little bit more.
Well, I think maybe just where he would have been a tough ass, rude to Spider-Man, maybe because of his relationship with Matt softened him up a little bit.
It could be. I could
on
see
top
that.
of the events of One Last Kill. A lot of Punisher tenderizing going on from Disney here. Okay.
Transition back into, here are our negative thoughts.
Well, let me see. I guess I just kind of... here's something that bugged me about the Punisher. Is... At the end, when Frank takes him to the hospital. Now, let me just start by saying that scene with him walking in the doors, holding him, Spider-Man in his arms, I was sliding out of my seat. I was so taken by it because it just looked exactly like Civil War, right out of the Civil War comic. But what I couldn't then get my head around is Frank Castle is in a hospital, sitting bedside, sitting sentry next to Spider-Man. Isn't he like fucking wanted? Like he's a murderer. Like, wouldn't that be like the opportunity? Aren't there cops at hospitals?
I'm wondering if anybody knew that he was there. If Frank had some way that he snuck in or whatever.
Well, he wasn't. He ran in the front door, going, "I need some help. We got this spider needs help." I mean, he made a pretty big announcement. He was there.
Well, it could have been Jean helping out since she kept Peter alive the whole time.
Right.
Like he said. So she could have been twisting everyone's mind to
That could be.
let everyone get in and not realize what's happening.
Right.
Possibly. I didn't think about that. That's all I had on that. Anything else? I guess that was debunked. I need not worry about it.
I had heard going into the movie that Frank wears the costume. And I was really kind of looking forward to that. But it turns out he was just wearing the mask. He wasn't wearing like the full. Yeah. I was like, oh, that would be so cool to see Frank leave the window and climb up the wall and leave or whatever. But it was just him, standing there, doing the whole thing. But
there's a meme that was said that there's officially 4 Spider-Man in the MCU or something like that. And it showed Toby, Andrew, Tom, and then it showed him sitting there looking out the hospital window with the mask on.
That's good.
I know I love the scene, but I had to shake my head when Peter, Hulk, and the Punisher are fighting, and Peter's pulling the Punisher across the floor with the Hulk chasing, and he's just sitting there laying in him with the machine gun. And all I could think is, that's not doing anything to him.
Right. But I got to tell you, man, I was beside myself. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't doing anything to him, but it was Spider-Man and Punisher versus Hulk. Like, that is some ridiculous
Yeah, it was
shit.
so great. I was on the edge of my seat sitting there getting all giddy.
I was like, I was excited when the Thomas Jane Punisher came out, and then as the other ones came out, more excited. But I never in a million years would I ever thought I would see Punisher versus Hulk on the big screen. Like, that just blows my mind.
So this, going back to the whole Hulk thing, I mean, I like the fact that they acknowledge when Peter says, "I didn't know you could get that big."
Yes.
And I was like, go bigger. Let's see how big Hulk can actually get. And that's what's always bothered me about Infinity War and Hulk not wanting to come out, and they sort of, pitched it as he's afraid of Thanos or whatever because he got beat up or whatever. And, but I'm like going, Hulk is, just pure rage. I don't think that we've actually seen Banner on screen completely, totally lose it.
Yeah.
And, how big can Hulk get, or what's the end point for that? And it's always Banner, trying to hold him in check, and the whole, the sadness of him in the back of the ambulance going, "Did I hurt anybody? Was it only me?" That kind of thing. But I mean, having Peter go, "Oh, I didn't know you could get that big." I was like, "Go bigger, let's see another, let's see another 4 or 5 feet, and just, and I'm like, holy crap!"
Like that first Hulk movie, when he would get really pissed, he would grow the size of a house. Like, he got fucking big.
But that's what I loved about that first Hulk movie, because they used that on them.
Yeah, and it's a missed opportunity, like, especially with Infinity War. Like, the way they did that. They opened up with him getting his ass kicked and then, running off with his tail between his legs, which you think, okay, at least I thought, okay, they're putting him away in the back pocket, and then when they need him the most, bam, that's when he's going to come back. And that's not what happened at all. They put him away and then brought in Captain Marvel. It was just Bruce Banner running.
They put him away and they brought Thor. Thor was like, Uber Thor with Stormbringer. I think they wanted to showcase that rather than showcase the Hulk or whatever. But
imagine how fucking sweet it would have been. Let's take a trip with me, boys. At the end of Infinity War, this is my director's cut. So they have the battle. Bruce Banner's in the Hulkbuster Iron Man suit, just the way it was. Thor comes down, gets his ass kicked. Something happens that makes the Hulk finally I have to come out. But this is when we see him bigger than we ever have. So you see Thanos hitting on the Hulkbuster outfit. It seemingly is broken down, but all of a sudden you see it start to crumple from the inside, and then it just breaks away, and fucking Savage Hulk grows up out of it. Tell me that wouldn't have been sweet. He'd still end up getting his ass kicked, but
we'd have another scene of Hulk holding someone by the feet, smacking him on the ground like he did. He did it to Peter again. This time.
Right.
At least it wasn't the whole same animation.
Yeah.
The same 3 or 4 hits that he did to Loki, and then who did he do Thor to next time?
Thor and Ragnarok.
No.
Yeah.
I did recently read that in all of their appearances in the comics, Thanos always does beat Hulk, but that's because he knows he has to move fast to beat the Hulk because the Hulk has endurance. Thanos has more strategic and tactical knowledge, and that's how he beats the Hulk. Which we saw in the fight on the ship in Infinity War, and how quickly and how brutally he beats the Hulk that way. Mm-hmm. But he knows he has to do it quickly because if Hulk outlasts him, he has more endurance, and Thanos will get tired and he will lose that way. So, but again, I don't understand why they have been clamping down on the Hulk so much. As far as not allowing him to fully express, do you know what I mean? Maybe they're saving him for some big thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see another a centric Hulk film. That
might
explains a lot of stuff, especially that fucking missing son. Go ahead, Jack.
I think it's a studio thing. They can't use him. They can only use him so much. Marvel can't do all Hulk thing. That's why he's only in bits and pieces.
Why? Why wouldn't they be able to?
Paramount, I think, owns Hulk.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, is that right? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Because the first MCU movie with the Hulk is a Paramount co-production.
You're talking Edward Norton's film?
Yeah. And that one, they did do a little bit more about him growing bigger and bigger each time, because both he and Abomination were getting out of control as far as how big they were getting.
Yeah.
So, but then the next time we see him, he's just green in the Avengers. So yeah.
The only other real thing I had about Brand New Day was Jean Grey being the antagonist. I didn't know how I felt about that. I mean, I was cool to this was a vehicle for the X-Men's introduction, the MCU's X-Men, right? So I feel like we were kind of ripped off in a little bit of a way. I would have loved to seen one of Spider-Man's, rogue gallery villains come out that we've never seen before or something. I thought I had heard Mr. Negative was going to be the villain.
Oh, I had heard that from way in the beginning.
Well, I think what it was that Mr. Negative was going to be the new big villain in the new comic series that was coming out alongside it. I think I had misread. Anyway, though, not to say it wasn't good, not to say I think Sadie Sink will be a great Jean Grey.
Yeah.
The inhibitor chip. That was another thing, because that's going to play some big parts in the future, especially with the X-Men,
Right.
And
Damage Control gets a hold of that. That's going to be a huge threat for the X-Men.
Yeah, I think somebody made the comparison to that's exactly what Bruce Wayne did in The Dark Knight with, using the technology to spy on everybody. And this inhibitor chip, if it fell into Damage Control's hands, and they just slapped that on anybody they wanted to, and stuck them in the raft or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's again kind of going down the same road that Tony did, where you can't fix everything with technology because you never can trust who's going to be using it and that sort of thing. So
that's a good point. I haven't thought about that. Everyone was saying, well, we got the inhibitor chips now, which I was like, the first time I had seen the inhibitor chip was on Doc Ock, to keep him in control of his tentacles.
Yeah.
And then, Banner had the inhibitor bracelet. So Peter obviously didn't invent it. But now that you say that, David, the inhibitor chip's always been there. This isn't like any big introduction of it. Like I remember seeing one on Wanda and anyone else that was powered in the raft. So
Peter had to pretty much make a new one for Doc Ock and No Way Home too. He fixed it for him.
Yeah, but this isn't the like big introduction or anything. Like
No.
like, Peter, is the one who introduced all. No, he's not. It's always.
I think I had kind of, once they brought that up in the movie, I was just like, oh, it's that easy again.
Yeah.
So take your
I'm just going
powers
to make
away.
this with my dumpster dive garbage in my bedroom. Make a device that's going to suppress certain elements of your DNA. Because why not? I got nothing to do. It's Saturday afternoon. I don't even know where to go from there.
His fight with the hand when he finally accepted that he was Spider-Man and Peter.
That was a great moment because of Jean Grey expecting him to choose one or the other, and to have him say, "I'm both." That was awesome. That was a big moment. Yeah, I like that.
It's like goodbye Spider or Peter Tingle. It just ramped up because everything let ninja stars flying by him. He was absorbing the hits from the stun batons, just breaking them on him. Yeah, I was loving that part.
Yeah, and like while he's fighting someone down here, the person he just knocked through the air is heading toward a sharp pipe, and he still is like able to swing and catch them and keep them from getting impaled. Like that was really cool.
Yeah.
Then the like web tornado down from the ceiling that just caught
that part
everybody.
Was great.
So cool.
Again, it was like that was his Hulk out moment, right? Where he fully embraced what he could do and just let loose. Mm-hmm. Because I do think that Peter and the Hulk, and like Andrew Garfield says in No Way Home, it got to a point where I stopped pulling my punches.
Yeah.
And I think, Peter in this movie got to that point, and just let loose and did, what he could do. As far as the Jean Grey character, I'm going to say something that may be a little bit controversial, but I've never been really satisfied with any of the portrayals of Jean Grey from the X-Men, from the Bryan Singer X-Men movies all the way up to this one. I mean, Sadie Sink is a terrific actress, and I thought, this was a really interesting take on it. But for me, that's like, it didn't feel like Jean Grey.
Yeah. Yeah, she seemed really dark, but I guess that's to be expected. I mean, I don't know. I agree with you, David. I don't feel like thus far Jean Grey has gotten the right portrayal on the silver screen. But, I'm open to Sadie Sink's version of it. I hope she does well. It just depends on the writing. And if
she was going to upstate New York in the end of No Way Home, or
which it looked like, right?
Homecoming,
yes,
and meets up with Dr. Xavier or Professor Xavier and gets a little structure, maybe she'll be the Jean Grey.
I'm assuming you guys saw the cast announcement for the X-Men.
Yes.
Yeah,
they all skew very young. They look very young, very young cast or whatever. But I remember when I first read the first X-Men comics, there wasn't a whole lot of trauma with the characters. They didn't have like these dark pasts. They had sort of like embraced the fact that they were different, and they liked being different because they were able to do things that other people could. And plus, they were a family. They protected each other and that kind of thing. But they're, as the comic series progressed and got, into the 70s, and the 70s were, a darker decade or whatever, there was a whole lot more backstory trauma introduced, and that's what everybody gravitates towards. But it's like, do we have a mutant that really enjoys being a mutant other than the portrayal of Quicksilver in First Class, where he's like, I love doing what I'm doing, but I always felt that Iceman, Beast, and Jean Grey were really kind of like happy with who they were. They didn't have a whole lot of like backstory until, of course, the Dark Phoenix thing. But I don't know.
I think the best portrayal of Beast thus far has been in the worst X-Men movie out there. Well, maybe not the worst, but close to, which was X3 Last Stand. Kelsey Grammer's Beast, like in that final fight scene when he's swinging around and like bear claw slapping bad guys. Oh, that was so satisfying. But they really did him dirty, that character dirty, when they start doing First Class and the younger, like the prequel films. Because he was like the scrawniest, spindliest person they could have cast, and he's taking this drug that suppresses that power.
Yeah,
this is my FaceTime drug. That way, the people watching the movie make sure they see my face. But even when they made him turn into Beast in that first film, or not the first film, but in First Class, it looked awful.
It was horrible. It looked more like a cat than.
It just looked stupid. It looked like it was like on one of those makeup competition shows on like TLC or something. It did
Face
not
Off
look
or
good.
something.
I remember reading that comic issue where Hank is trying to cure his, body dysmorphia or whatever, and then ends up screwing it up, and then that's where he grows the blue fur for the first time. I remember reading that in the comics going, oh wow, he looks really cool now.
And to talk about what a perfect addition that would have been. Imagine that scene with I can't remember the guy who plays Beast in these films.
Nicholas Hoult?
Yes, thank you. That would have been perfect with him. And I guess they did address that. They did address that in First Class. I mean, is what happened, right? He gave himself some injection.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never understood why they didn't show Beast the way he was portrayed in the comics. Why couldn't we see a guy with big hands and big feet?
Yeah.
Instead, he had those weird looking feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, those were weird.
It was like bat feet or something like that.
Bat feet.
From what I remember, again, my memory baby, spotty or whatever, but he just bounced around and, could like do this sort of cannonball thing. And I don't know, I liked Hank.
A lot of
That's
those
what my dad
comics
always recalls every time I talk about the X-Men, and he always goes back to the OG X-Men when Beast was just a big bouncing boy all over the place.
Yeah, he was always like somersault, cannonballing around in the air, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bobby was always creating the ice slides and doing that kind of thing, and Angel was flying overhead.
Just flying. That's all he could do.
Ice slides that do not obey any kind of physics laws or anything. Yeah. But
as Peter tells Cap in Civil War, that thing doesn't doesn't adhere to the laws of physics at all.
Yeah, that's the truth. Especially when they're fighting. He's fighting Thanos with Mjolnir, and he throws the shield, and then the shield gets deflected, and then he throws the hammer, which perfectly bounces off the shield. It's like, how?
Bro's good.
Well, that's a good explanation. But what I've heard is, I think you guys have heard that Endgame is being re-released in the theaters, I think, within the month leading up to Doomsday.
Yeah.
With additional footage, right?
Boom.
Like
that's
10
the
minutes.
Thing. Yeah, like I think at the end, I think I heard Loki is supposed to show up at Steve Rogers' house or something.
Which I think we've seen in the Doomsday trailers, that when we ever see the shots of Loki, I think that's where that's taking place.
Oh, yeah, you're right, because there is like a sepia background happening there. Yeah.
Because in that trailer where Thor says that's not possible, and I think everybody thinks that he's talking to Cap about that because Cap takes the hammer from him. But if you look at that scene, there's some blurred out stuff behind him. So I'm wondering if Loki is standing behind Cap when Thor walks up there and that's why he says it's not possible.
Yeah. Plus he thinks his brother dead, right?
Yeah.
Thor doesn't. So his dead brother and dead Cap come walking out of a portal. Yeah, that would be a little jarring. And that wouldn't be the first time they've done that. With the Spider-Man No Way Home, they edited all the extra Spider-Man out of the trailer. In the Infinity War trailer, they had the Hulk running it there with everyone else. He wasn't even in the movie. So
I loved in Brand New Day, the beginning, when they were showing him flying at the hand. There was nothing in that little area there. It just proved everyone They thought they knew.
Oh,
there's
you're
going to be
right.
Frank and Daredevil's going to be right there because everyone's looking in a different direction.
Yeah.
Nope, it was all Spider-Man.
That was such a stunning. Those could all be like those like freeze frame print, hang it on the wall. They are that gorgeous.
Well, that's the one thing I loved about that sequence, and I wish they would do that more, like with Fantastic Four, with other characters. Like in Captain America: Winter Soldier, I was like, I wanted to see a sequence of Cap going after AIM, or one of the other sequences, or Cap going toe to toe with U.S. Agent, or whatever. You know, maybe we could have seen. What's his name? God, from Thunderbolts, David Harbour's
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. Yeah, see Cap going toe to toe with Red Guardian. That would have been awesome.
But we are entering a film where John Walker and Captain America are both in the film, so we could get a U.S. Agent Captain America meetup.
Well, we have Sam Wilson, Captain America.
We got a lot of Caps.
Yeah. And then you've got Steve Rogers. It's like, wow, okay.
Then I heard people saying, rumors that, Doom made Cap come back, but this isn't the Cap we know. This is Captain Hydra.
Oh, yeah, I keep hearing that too.
Yeah.
Which I do not think they're doing, because the whole Hydra stuff's behind us, or is it?
There's also people saying that Cap is actually Loki in disguise. So, I mean,
that had crossed my mind too, but I think what you were saying, David, sounds like that would be much more plausible. Because what an amazing scene! What a shock on Thor's system to see the two of them together walking out of like.
What I'm interested to see is how do they explain that? Because at the end of season 2 of Loki is he who remains. He's sitting there on the throne, holding the multiverse together with his two hands.
Yeah.
How can you leave that and enter into the reality of this? How does that happen?
Unless he just projects into that reality. That's really the only way.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone keeps saying, I was thinking about this the other day. Everyone keeps saying, the universe that Captain America went to, like a different universe than ours, right? That's not what happened. He stayed in the 616 the whole time. He just went to a different point in time.
People are saying it's a branch. It's a branch called 828. That's where Cap went.
So the second. Okay, so 828 being the branch, the second where Cap went back starts what we've been watching, right?
That's the life that he has with Peggy is 828. Because if he had stayed in 616. There would have been no shield.
But then how was he the old guy? How was he an old man at the end of fucking Endgame then? Like, he's always been in 616. Unless we're all writing the 828 wave. Unless we all took that splinter 828.
Unless after the end of Doomsday and Secret Wars, we see Loki transport the old Cap back to that last scene of Endgame, where he's sitting on the bench there.
I just loved the line in that trailer, the Doomsday trailer. Not only, they're showing, I think it was Thor talking to everybody, and you see Channing Tatum's Gambit. You see Magnus sitting there looking all old and crusty. I loved it. I've already got that figure on pre-order, by the way.
Yeah.
But telling everybody what's happening, and then you hear Doom's narration saying you all have been living on borrowed time. So we obviously know Cap, but he's also referring to Days of Future Past. Those guys went back and changed that. Spider-Man changing the fact that everybody forgot who he was because he was fucking around with time and space. And
Thor telling using gore to save love
with eternity. Yes. So I just love that because it never even dawned on me that he would also be thinking about that Days of Future Past, that anything that happened in those Fox films are, we get the Fox characters, but anything that would have happened in those Fox films is still carrying weight, but it is. I loved that. And that scene where Doom comes shooting out of that tower and then just like lands to the ground quick. He just looks like he's like a vamping. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I know.
See it again.
There's the quick scene in the trailer where you see him come out of like the top of a tower, and he just like shoots through the air, and the way he looks, it's not just like Superman flying. It looks like some dark magic kind of shit. Like he's roiling and folding and stuff, and then bam, he just appears on the ground. Watch it. It's incredible looking.
I just know the image of him standing there with a bunch of Sentinels coming up from behind him in the newest trailer.
Yeah.
I am too.
After he swats Thor away, he's like, "You will wish for hell after what I've put you through." And then he got swatted. He's like, "Hell answers to me." And then the Sentinels rise like, Jeremy getting wet. I don't know. I feel at the same time that my expectations maybe everybody's expectations will probably maybe be let down a bit, because nothing's going to beat Endgame, Infinity War Endgame, that whole build up. Yeah, they're hyping it hard. Yeah, people are excited. That does not mean it's going to be good. That means the marketing's been really good.
I think my biggest trepidation is that there are so many characters in it. There are so many characters and threads, and how do you do all of that in 2.5, 3 hours? How do you do that? But I mean,
they did Deadpool 2. Just kill everyone that's on the way.
I was just going to say the exact same thing. Well, I feel like I had heard rumors that the Fox X-Men's universe fate is doomed, but who knows about that? This is like when we first started this show, they were doing the whole Battleworld series in the comics where they had the ultimate universe, the normal universe, all these different universes, and they were like sick of writing all this stuff. Let's pick the best from all of them, cram all the worlds together. That's our new Marvel universe. So that's what I think they're going to do here. I think you're right. I think they probably will kill a lot of them off pretty early. Kind of like, the expectations. We thought this Spider-Man movie was going to be popping at the seams with all these characters, but half of them were just quick shots, or you know what I mean?
The only villain was really Peter fighting himself.
Yeah. And then, okay, so the after credit scene from Brand New Day, the Spider Peter tracker or whatever, shows that he's off-world on another planet. I think that's going to be more of a Secret Wars spoiler or a tease than a Doomsday tease.
Yeah, because I think that's Doom's Battleworld, right? Isn't that what they're leading to?
I think so. And that's going to be where we get the symbiote.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to recreate that fucking cover, Secret Wars cover, with him standing there like
just
this.
Standing there.
Oh, it's going to be so sweet. It's going to be so sweet.
Have you guys seen the Vision Quest trailer?
Yeah.
No.
It just came out. I'll send it to you, Jack, if you don't look it up first. But
it comes out in October. It concludes the WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and then the Vision Quest. That's the trilogy for that. So
I did hear that there was the human version of Ultron in Vision Quest.
That's what I was just going to say.
James Spader's in the trailer, and it's pretty awesome. Yeah,
it is awesome, but there's like scene where like Vision sees Ultron standing on a balcony looking down, and it's like Ultron that we saw in the Avengers film, and he just yells, "Ultron, human avatars all night." And then he turns into James Spader, but all I could hear him saying was, "Ultron, TV budget only."
Yeah, really.
What I love about the trailer is that he talks to his house servants, one of which is Jarvis, one of which is Edith, the AI, and then the other two are those armed things that Tony had in his house.
The one he had called a dunce.
Yeah, Dummy was his name.
Yeah,
and that's the guy's name in the series. Dummy. Like, that's awesome.
But it seems like from the trailer that everything we're going to watch is just what's happening inside Vision's head as his body is just sitting in a storage unit somewhere.
I think there's a scene in the trailer where it breaks out into the real world. So I don't think it all takes place interior, but yeah.
Because it like showed him like walking through a movie theater, and all the posters on the wall were like moments from his life with Wanda and stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch it again. I totally even forgot that was out until you just said that. I saw it the day it came out and totally forgot. That's why I shouldn't be watching this stuff at work, because then I forget about it. But anywho, I totally forgot that was coming out in October. For some reason, I was thinking that was going to be something for next year. So I guess we should have waited till that came out and aired before we did this, but who cares? We can still talk about that later.
I don't know. You'd be cutting it close if you wait and do your Christmas episode in after Doomsday hits the theaters. But yeah.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
I don't think so. That's a lot of work. But what we could do is like we did last year is do our Christmas episode, and then the following week after Christmas we can do
a quick one.
New Year's end of the year talk about films, because we were just talking mainly Marvel here. There's a lot of films that I've seen this year that I would love to talk about. Two of which I just watched this last week: Obsession, which was fantastic.
I've still got to see that. That's on my list.
Oh my God, make time. It was great.
That's what I've heard. I've told my sister I still haven't watched it yet, and she was just like, just because of the movie.
It was genuinely creepy.
Yeah.
Horror movies typically don't do it for me. That one, it was creepy. And I also watched Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die with Sam Rockwell.
I gotta watch that still. I want to watch that.
I love that movie. I thought that movie was terrific.
Yeah. It was good. Boy, did it go in directions I was not expecting.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it great, right?
Was it kind of like Everything All Over All at Once, or whatever the name of that one was?
No, not really, but it's a real showcase for Sam Rockwell. He's so good in that movie.
I love
him.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
And that's how you can tell he's such a great actor is like you forget it's him.
Yeah.
You get lost in that character. You don't even see him in there. But David's right. He was fantastic.
Yeah. I was really hoping that at some point during Wonder Man, we might have gotten a Justin Hammer cameo. That would have been really fun.
He just comes dancing in for no reason and then dances out.
Yeah.
I'd have taken it. Oh my God. And that would have been the place for it. Because, I mean, not that Ben Kingsley wasn't good enough to bring the people in, because he was, but that would have added to it, certainly.
Yeah, it would.
Maybe I can just get like a little green screen dancing Sam Rockwell I can just put in the bottom of our video here.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Just using every episode going forward, because why the fuck not? That would be awesome.
Be hilarious.
That's
like one of the best parts of that movie too, is when he comes dancing out on stage.
Oh yeah, it is. But whenever he goes on to like Jimmy Kimmel or late night shows, he always comes out dancing too. He's like known for being a great dancer.
Oh, is he really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, it starts with Charlie's Angels, right? He does the whole dance sequence because he's the bad guy in that movie.
Oh, is that right? I don't remember.
Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu. Yeah, he's the bad guy.
Wow. Damn, when did that come out? 2001, 2, something like that? That's been a minute ago.
I think that's before I really started to appreciate him and stuff.
I remember when that film came out. That was a big movie. So was the second one. And they were good. Wasn't Bill Murray...
Bill Murray was Bosley in the first one.
Bosley, thank you.
Bernie Mac was Bosley in the second one.
Oh,
that's
God
right.
Rest his soul. Bernie Mac was funny. I enjoyed him. His show was good. The Bernie Mac show. That was a good show. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. What about you? Anything else?
No.
Now we just patiently wait for Doomsday. I am so excited. I'm still curious to see if they do anything addressing the fact that Doom looks exactly like Tony Stark, or if we even get him out, with his mask off. I don't know. I really loved the scene where we saw Mr. Fantastic Reed saying, "Did you do this, Victor?" Like they're playing up like that they had a relationship.
He knows. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That was nice to see that, because that was kind of one thing that you missed in the Fantastic Four was no Victor. Anyway.
I've also, because I pick up on these things and I troll Reddit every now and then. Somebody has pointed out that in that sequence where Pedro Pascal is grabbing him, he's actually holding the ultimate nullifier in that scene, or at least they're saying that he's holding the ultimate nullifier. So
seriously, how do they? Yeah. I'm gonna have to look.
Well, I think it's also based on the fact that they just released images of a Doom model figure where he's sitting on a chair and he's actually holding the ultimate nullifier in his hand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious about these Doom witches we've seen and heard about.
Yeah, the fact that it might be is speculated that that's one of the witches that was in the cutscene at the end of Fantastic Four that was talking to Frank.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Because people online are saying, well, the green one is Sylvie, the red one is Scarlet Witch. The purple one is Clea from the end of Multiverse of Madness because she's dressed in purple.
Charlize Theron's character?
Yeah. And then there's the other masked figure that they call, quote unquote, Boris. That's supposed to be Doctor Strange.
Boy, I need to dig deeper in these theories. I haven't heard any of this.
Yeah. I try to avoid them because I really want to go into Doomsday not knowing shit about it. So
that's why I haven't watched the trailers over and over. I watched them when they came out and was like, wow.
Watch
maybe
them again
later on.
Watch for the. I'm going to watch it to look for the nullifier thing, and I advise you guys to just take a quick.
This last trailer that came out, I really liked the opening scenes where Victor's floor has like that effect on the floor, the green flowing.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was like, oh, that's sick looking. That's I like that.
So I mean, they're obviously going to tie in the storyline with Doom about his mother. They've been making that very apparent. You know, they show him gazing up at a poster in the new poster they unveiled at San Diego Comic-Con of a mother and a child. And
when they showed that picture, the only thing I could think of is like, oh, that's the painting from Ghostbusters 2, right?
Boy, I'm never going to unsee that now. Vigo.
It's Vigo.
But, you know, they're going to play it up that, you know, his mother indeed was a witch, and that I would have to imagine his mother is in hell with Mephisto.
Well, I mean, he's on par as far as like magical power with Doctor Strange. He's a sorcerer supreme. So yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I wonder if they're playing like obviously he's lost his mother. I don't know how just involved they're going to get with it. Because you know the whole storyline where he has one opportunity every year to go to hell and fight Mephisto to win his mother's soul back, and year after year after year he loses.
Not all that familiar. So
okay.
Yeah, I just want to be surprised. So
I'm going to ruin this for you one way or another, David. I promise you that.
Well, I know you have a dark side because you're always siding with the bad guys. It's Magneto and Doom.
And who'd you say other than Magneto?
Doom.
Oh yeah. Well, they're just the much more interesting characters, right?
Speaking of,
am I wrong? Don't leave this hanging. Am I right or wrong? I'm about to put my Magneto helmet on and just storm the fuck out of here.
Well, I think every Marvel villain is kind of encapsulated by what they tell Loki. Is that what Agent Coulson tells Loki in the first Avengers movie is like, you're going to lose because it's part of the fabric of your character. I can't remember the exact line, but it's.
I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah,
but I think every Marvel villain is sort of cut from that same cloth of they're destined to lose. They'll win for a time, but you know something will come along and reset the balance or whatever. But yeah.
So you're saying I'm going to lose someday?
Jeremy's like, so you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. I read you.
So you're telling there's a chance.
With the X-Men announcement, who is Adam Driver supposed to be playing?
Because I haven't just going to say that.
I know who it is.
Well, I've heard two different things. I've heard it announced that he's playing Mr. Sinister, but then at the San Diego panel, when he was on screen, he himself said he was playing Magneto.
But he says, "Oh no, wait, I'm playing," and then he names Mr. Sinister's real name.
Oh, Nathan. He does?
Yeah, he says Nathan, whatever.
So he was just trolling me. I got trolled.
Yeah, you got trolled.
Fucking Adam Driver.
All I saw from the video was he's just like, and I'm going to be, and then it cuts off, and I'm just like, well, I'm not going to look then.
Well, that's exciting for me though, because I when I thought he was Magneto, I got upset. Like I was like, what? Yeah. Come on, I don't want that. But Mr. Sinister, that's going to be awesome. Just to see Mr. Sinister, period, is going to be awesome. But I think he would do it well.
As long as they do the makeup and got the little red diamond in the middle of his forehead.
I don't know about the guy they cast as Charles Xavier, though. I'm trying hard to place it. I don't know his name, but I just got a glimpse of him, and I'm like, he doesn't look like a wise older professor. He looked like to be the same age as everybody he was standing next to.
Well, I mean, I think they went into James McAvoy route, where he's more of a younger guy. He's not because when Patrick Stewart played in the first movie, he was already over 60, right? He was the old professor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going younger.
Yeah.
Find a picture of him sitting down. That might change your mind.
Have you seen said picture?
No.
How do I find that? Find his name, sitting down, image search.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Looks
All right.
just like him.
Oh, I get what you're doing. All right, guys. Well, I think that's going to do it for this one. This one's going long. We haven't recorded this long in a while. That's how you know we're having fun. So hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. Let us know what you thought in the comments about what we said or what we missed. Would love to hear it. But yeah, we will be doing this again probably after Christmas, just to wrap up on what has come out, not only Doomsday, but Vision Quest and just other films we've seen throughout the year that are pretty good. I've seen quite a few that I've been happy with.
We also have the Odyssey to talk about, and then Dune 3 is coming out on the same day.
Yeah.
Doomsday drops. So
Doomsday, they're calling it.
Ooh, look at this guy, marketing. I still have yet to see any of the Dune films, and I haven't seen the Odyssey yet. So I need to get on the ball. But all right. Does anyone else have anything to add?
That's it for this episode.
Then Jack, tell these people what they can find on our website, sir.
Go to cannedairpodcast.com where you can listen, like, follow, subscribe, become a patron, buy some merch, and if you'd like to be a guest and promote your work, send us an email on our contacts.
And you can find us on Twitter. Or no, not Twitter. Jesus Christ, I'm digging way back for that. Wow. You can find us on Instagram at canned_air and on TikTok at Canned Air Podcast. And we're on Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to our catalog that at this point is 5 years plus growing, right? Mm-hmm. It's been around for about 5 years now. Tons of stuff on there. Hours of entertainment for $5 a month. Can't go wrong. If you don't like it, you've only out $5 and you've helped us out, right? I'm not great.
You could have listened to a whole bunch of it. If you spend $5, you have that whole month to listen to all them episodes, 5 years worth. You could probably do it.
We need to hire the same marketing team Marvel gets for Doomsday to go after our Patreon, because I feel like we're not doing it great justice. But it's good stuff. Check it out, $5 a month. And, if you are people who have only found us on YouTube, go back onto Spotify or onto Apple. Our catalog goes all the way back to 2013. There's a lot of audio content out there that you guys haven't heard, so check that out. And if you only know us from listening to us on Spotify or on Apple Podcast Player or wherever you listen to us, come over to YouTube. Get the visual end of it. Check it out. And I think that's what we call an episode, gentlemen. Unless you have anything else. All right. Well, we will be back to dissect more movies after Doomsday and after Christmas. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Be excellent to each other.